Hi everybody, my name's Tim Gresh. I'm a professional bike fitter in Westchester, Pennsylvania. This video will be on setting your saddle angle. This is a very important thing to get done right, and it's very easy to get it not correct. And there's just a really simple thing to do with this, and it is setting your bike level across axles. So if there's one thing you're going to remember in this video, it's setting your bike level across axles. Now, why is this important? Because we need to set a baseline on the bike. If I want this saddle to be level and I'm on a surface that's not level, let's say I'm in my garage and it has a little slope to it, then my saddle is going to have a slope to it as well. So we need to get that bike level across axles before we start taking measurements. And this goes for all measurements on the bike, but we're talking about saddle angle. So every time I do a bike fit, first thing I do, I get my 4-foot level and I run this from the center of my front axle to the center of the rear, and I get it level. You're going to want to put your bike on a stationary trainer. That way it's in a nice solid position, and then just raise or lower the front wheel until you have it level. Once you've done that, now you can go ahead and check where your saddle angle is. Now to do that, you're going to want to then get a flat object, kind of like this. It can be a piece of wood, maybe a book, a rigid flat surface. In this case, I have a machined aluminum bike fitting tool here. This is about 1 foot long by about 7 inches wide. And the reason why I have this is because we don't want to take a level and put it over top of the saddle like that, because it's not going to really sit there flat in some cases. We want to get a nice flat surface, put it over top of the saddle, because a lot of saddles will kind of have a peak at the back, and then the nose will kind of go up a little bit. There might be a cutout in the middle. So you put this over top just to cover the whole thing, and then we take a level, put that on top. I prefer a digital level. That way we have a readout in decimal, so we can be a little bit more accurate there. For most saddles that are flat, like the one you see right here, which is most saddles out in the market, pretty much every stock bike out there is going to have a saddle that's pretty much all flat. You're going to want to set that saddle at 0.0. That's a good neutral position to start with. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. And we are at about 0.8 nose up. So in this case, we're just going to go ahead, grab our hex tool and set that to dead level. And then that'll be a good spot. Now we know that our saddle is level. Now, commonly, riders will come to me and have a saddle that is nose down. That's a big problem, because when your saddle's nose down, you're gonna start sliding forward towards the cockpit. That is one of the big reasons why riders cannot pass the balance test. I did make a video on balance test, which is basically when you're pedaling under load, you put your hands down the drops and you try and take your hands off the bars and go like this and try to hold yourself. A lot of riders will fall forward when their saddle is nose down. Also, if the saddle is a little bit nose up or too much nose up, that'll cause the pelvis to sort of rotate back, sort of like this, and it'll make your spine have to kind of come out from the pelvis and make a sharp bend forward towards the cockpit, not healthy for the back. So we want that saddle to be a nice, stable platform to sit on. That's why that dead level is a good spot to be in. So go ahead and do that to your bike, and it should feel a lot better, especially if you're running nose up or nose down. Now, with all that said, there are saddles that are an exception to this rule. The biggest one would be Cell SMP. I made a video on these saddles. This is my absolute favorite saddle. I made a video on my top 3, and these you don't necessarily set at dead level because they have such a high rise in the back. They dip down, and then there's a nose in the front that kind of raises up. You have this dip in the middle. You don't necessarily set these at dead level. There's kind of a specific angle that you need to be here. It's kind of a whole nother conversation. But in the video that I made on SMPs, I do have my recommendations for that. But it's the same thing. Get the bike level across axles, put the level on, and set it there. So I hope you find this helpful, setting your bike level across axles, getting your saddle level. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. It helps the channel, and enjoy every ride.